What's up, guys, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? It is I, the one and only OP Skills, back again for another episode of Victory Gaming Network. How's everybody doing today? So anyway, this is going to be my top 5 list of games that need remasters. Now, this is going to be, in my opinion only. These are going to be out of the games that I've played, that I've enjoyed, that I personally would like to see remastered. So, with that being said, hopefully nobody will go in the comments getting pissed and shit because I haven't put a game in that they think should be added. These are only games that I've played, games that I enjoy and would love to see remastered. So anyway, let's go ahead and get straight to it, starting with number 1. Okay, guys, starting off the list at number 1, I have Dragon Age Origins. Now, this was released back in 2009 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC. So, this was a game that still to this day is one of my personal favorites. I love this game, mainly because this game is such an expansive game. This game is huge. So basically, the whole story of the game is you are one of the last surviving Grey Wardens, and Grey Wardens are these guys who are basically this ancient order who is sent to form to stop the Darkspawn, which is like this race of enemies that start a blight, and they basically just try to consume the world, basically. And the Grey Wardens are formed to prevent that from happening. Now, in the game, you actually create a character in the beginning. You got either dwarf, elf, or mage, dwarf, elf, or human, and in expansion to that, you can choose between either warrior, mage, rogue. Warrior, mage, or rogue. And in addition to that as well, you also have an origin story, hence the name Dragon Age Origins, where you can either be, like if you pick dwarf, you got dwarf commoner, or a dwarf noble. This changes the opening backstory, if you will, to your character dramatically based on the origin that you choose. This was a game that, as I said, is one of my personal favorites even today. I love this game. The story is really enveloping. The world of Ferelden is huge. I even have the Ultimate Edition, actually, that I just got recently that has all 7 additional DLC packs in it, as well as Awakening, which is an additional 13 hours. On top of everything, you're looking at about maybe 40 to 50 hours total in this game. I mean, it's just really huge. And to see this game remastered on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or modern day PCs would be astonishing to see it now. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the second one. Okay, next on the list here, I have Spartan Total Warrior. This was developed by the same people who have made the phenomenal Total War games, which is another favorite of mine, Creative Assembly, and it was published by Sega and released in 2005 on the PlayStation 2 and I believe the Xbox Original. And I'm not sure if it was on PC or not. I'm not really sure, but I know it was PS2 and Xbox Original. And this was a hack and slash game. And it was where you play as, the story isn't really much. You play as a Spartan warrior, and you're sent you get a message sent to you from the God of War, and Ares, the God of War, and he tells you to destroy the Roman Empire and all these different groups of people, and you do it. I mean, so the story is pretty basic. It's not really there, but what makes this game shine for me was the hack and slash aspect of it. This game, considering that it was in 2005 and it was on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox Original, this game was phenomenal. You would have huge sections, like a huge sea of enemies all coming at you at once, and it was just phenomenal. And the feeling of slicing all these people up was so gratifying to me. And you also had a few companion mechanics in there as well. You had a caster and I believe one other character. You gotta forgive me, it's been a while since I played it. Who were basically your companions, and you could use companion attacks and different things like that to combine them with your basic attacks. This game was just phenomenal, and it's another game that I would love to see remastered on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One now. So yeah, Spartan Total Warrior. Okay, guys, so hitting it off at number three, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This was released in 2006. I believe it was an exclusive for the original Xbox and PC. Yeah, it was on PC and it was a Xbox original, so it wasn't exclusive. But it was released in 2006 and it was developed by BioWare. So obviously, right off the bat, it was developed by BioWare. You know that the story is great. Basically, just so I don't spoil anything for anybody who has not played this phenomenal game, you start off as a Jedi. Well, you're not immediately a Jedi. You later become a Jedi later in the game, about maybe close to about 3-4 hours in, maybe a little less, depending on how you play it and what difficulty and everything. And you're sent out to defeat Lord Malik, which is the Dark Lord of the Sith. And along the way, you meet all of these incredibly interesting characters, all these different alien races that are in the films. You can visit all these different incredible planets. And it's just, this game is phenomenal. The world is huge, especially for a 2006 game. You've got all these different multiple planets you can visit, like Tatooine, Kashyyyk, and it's incredible. And to see this game remastered would be awesome. Not only remastered, I would love to see a third entry in this franchise. For some reason, I don't really know why that's never happened before, but before now. But the franchise, the Star Wars name is in the hands of Disney now, so we could still yet see that. Not sure yet, but only time will tell. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the next one. Okay, guys, now here at number 4, I have Fable 1. This game was developed by Lionhead Studios, which is sadly not with us anymore. They are gone, so we will probably never actually see this remastered, unfortunately. Regardless, though, I still added it to the list because I would still like to see it remastered, even though I know it may never be. And it was a fantasy role-playing game exclusive to the original Xbox. So basically, this game you either loved or hated. A lot of people didn't like it because of the combat system. It was what you would call button mashing. There was only one button to attack, and you can either hold it for heavier attacks or just mash it for light attacks. So yeah, the combat system was very disappointing. But overall, I really loved this game. I loved exploring the world. I loved learning about these different areas in the game. And there was a lot of comedy aspects to this game, too, which were really phenomenal to have in the game. They had a lot of DLC for this game also, which, for example, you could get Master Chief armor in the game. Now, how fucking awesome is that to be able to get Master Chief's armor in a fantasy action role-playing game? So that was really awesome. And there are multiple entries in this franchise. There's Fable 1, Fable 2, and Fable 3. If you get into this franchise, I would recommend starting with Fable 1 and then 2. Fable 3 was not nearly as good as the previous two before it. So anyway, that is it. Fable 1, it's a really great game. Pretty big world. I mean, there's a lot to do in it. You have a lot of side quests and things like that. And the clothing options were incredible. You could customize your character so much in this game. Anyway, that is it for number 4. Let's go ahead and get started on number 5. Okay, guys, finally here at number 5, I have Fallout New Vegas. This was a game it's still one of my favorites, actually, and I still play it an awful lot. I have a lot of Fallout 4 videos here on this channel, but overall, out of the Fallout games, Fallout New Vegas is actually my favorite. When this game was released, it had a lot of bugs, and a lot of times it would actually freeze up. But once that game was actually patched, it was so much fun. I remember playing this game for the first time. I had no idea what it was. I was still pretty young at the time, so I wasn't big into the gaming industry and everything like I am now. I didn't follow it or anything. So I had no idea what to expect with this game. And I remember starting the game, and I had the grenade launcher, which you guys are seeing here. And I remember with the bloody mess perk, which means with that perk your enemies explode when you shoot them, into basically the name bloody mess. And I remember using the grenade launcher and blowing people up with it, with the bloody mess perk, and it was so fun. I would literally just went around and just blew people up, blew entire towns full of people up with the grenade launcher because it was so much fun. And there's also a morality in the system in the game in place, so you can either be good or evil. You had multiple factions in the game. You had Caesar's Legion, which were basically a big group of slavers. You had New California Republic. They were kind of like your government in the world. And it was so much fun exploring the Mojave Wasteland, and in typical Fallout fashion, there was a history behind each location. There was, based on the placement of different objects in the area, you could even kind of make up your own backstory, if you will, of what had happened in the place. So this game was overall, this game is a lot of fun. I still love playing it. Anyway, that is it for this episode of Victory Gaming Network, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your top 5 list is in the comments below. I look forward to seeing that. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Until then, take care.